Namaste. Today we are going to watch what is Eurovision. So recently we saw the video of River Dance at Eurovision and that was mesmerizing to watch. So I was all in about like what is this competition? Like is it about like how all the European countries come together and then showcase their talent, or is it like it could be like Europe Got Talent, like the way it is America's Got Talent, so it could be their way of doing it. But I don't know, because they also have a British Got Talent and other different kinds of Got Talent. So it might be something else, but it is something like it is very prestigious because like most of the people in Europe watch and like look up to it. So we will see what it is, how it works, and what happens accordingly.
And yes, the previous video which we saw, literally that was so incredible, and the girl which was dancing was literally, she was looking so stunning, and the way she was dancing, that thing was very tough because she was dancing maybe she was dancing only on one leg, so that's the reason that dance is very tough. And the way the team was also performing was also so good. The way the musician, the way the singers were singing the song, and the guitarists were playing the guitar was so good. So basically that video was so great to see. So I'm so much excited to see that what is Eurovision, and maybe they're gonna talk about the history of it, and maybe it is a kind of competition. But yes, whatever it is so incredible and melodious to see. So yeah, I'm so much excited to see the video. So let's watch the video.
Let's see what is Eurovision actually. So let's start the video.
Hey everybody, so the next few scripts are almost done being written. We're going to film this week, so that means this is round 2 of filler week. I asked you guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram what are some topics you would like me to cover on filler week. Last one was the World Cup, and this time it's going to be, by popular demand, Eurovision. By the way guys, I have a little bit of a list because I'm straightening my teeth with aligners. This is what I'm using. I remember the first time I was introduced to Eurovision was in 2014 when I visited Denmark, and back then they were actually hosting Eurovision. I had no idea what it was, and then when I saw it I was like, wow, this is a big deal out here. So today we answer the question, what is Eurovision? Explained by the perfect candidate, me, an American. Logic! Now if you really want to know what Europeans think of each other, don't watch the news or read an article on history. Just watch Eurovision. What is Eurovision? Well, first of all, specifically, it's the Eurovision Song Contest. Eurovision is actually the name of the network in Switzerland that kind of started the whole thing. Second of all, in the shortest way I can summarize it, it's like the longest running, most watched singing competition in the world, held in May with finals sometimes lasting up to 4 hours. It involves mostly all of the countries in Europe and a few that aren't even in it as well. Literally every country in Europe except for Liechtenstein and, no surprise, Vatican City has competed at least once in the competition. Can you imagine a Vatican priest competing in the competition? Who knows, maybe one day. I mean, Europe is pretty surprising. So how did it all begin? Basically, back in the 1950s, Europe had to figure out a way to make everybody cool with each other after World War II. So, no shocker, Europe's little rational psychiatrist Switzerland was like, hey, everyone likes music, so let's do a friendly little singing competition amongst each other to appease the masses. And it worked! Switzerland, the most neutral of all nations, hosted the first competition in Lugano with 7 countries, and no surprise, Switzerland, the most neutral competitor, won the first competition. Since then, it's been going on literally for over 60 years. Slowly over time, new countries joined in. After the fall of the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia, tons of new countries wanted in, and now over 40 are taking part. Basically, each country submits an original song and a singer or group to perform for the grand prize. On the surface it seems kind of fun, but underneath the whole deal, it's like this whole systematically complex formulated competition. It involves a lot of math, politics, and strategy. By strategy, I mean this. I'm fine,
Hey, it is fun.
The rules are always changing because they always find new problems, but for one, you get 3 minutes to sing and you can choose whatever language you want. However, recently a lot of people have just chosen to sing in English. Belgium once trolled everybody by singing in a fake language twice. And for some reason, Norway once sang in Swahili. Now, because they are the biggest financial contributors, there are 5 countries that automatically qualify for the final every year. They are France, Germany, Spain, the UK, and Italy. Now, you might think because these countries automatically qualify, that might be unfair. So to make up for it, these countries usually send in singers that like deliberately suck so they can kind of make up for the advantage.
The song name is Mustache and his hairs are like shit. What happened to him?
Now, how do you win? Well, in order to win, you have to get the points, which happens through voting. The voting system has changed throughout the years. At first, there was a single jury that voted. Then there was a jury in every competing nation that gave a point system between 1 to 8, 10, and 12 points to their favorite performers. Then in 1997, they experimented with the first call-in televoting system. Then that got messy because politics. So in 2016, they brought back the juries and fused the two together, so each got a 50-50 say in the point system. Basically, the rule is you can't vote for your own country, but you can give points to other countries. This is where politics usually comes in and why the televoting system got kind of messy. You can really get a sense of who the real friends are. Like the Nordic countries always support each other, the Slavic countries, Greece and Cyprus always give each other like the highest points, and so on. So that's why they had to bring the jury system back to balance things out. To this day, Ireland has the most wins at 7, Sweden comes in next at 6, France and Luxembourg and the UK each have 5, the Netherlands has 4, Denmark, Israel and Norway have 3, and Austria, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, and the Ukraine each have 2. Otherwise, when it comes to performances, pretty much anything goes. You can wear wacky costumes, use silly props, you can incorporate elements that illustrate your nation's culture or heritage, you can run around in a hamster wheel. You don't even have to use performers that are from your country. I mean, Celine Dion won in the 80s. She competed for Switzerland, and she's from Canada. You can take the competition seriously, or you can make a fool of yourself. And that's kind of the other thing that needs to be addressed. Apparently, from what I've been told, many of the countries that compete in Eurovision don't even want to win Eurovision. As in, they deliberately suck so that they can lose.
Why?
Now, why would you want to lose Eurovision? Because according to the rules, the winning country of Eurovision has to host the next Eurovision. So, hosting a Eurovision is like hosting a little mini Olympics. It costs a lot of money and taxes to accommodate such a huge event that gets bigger and bigger every year. And this is where the infamous troll contestants come in. Every year there are so many with like over-the-top, campy, horribly constructed performances. And it's one of the biggest appeals to watching Eurovision. Everybody wants to see the trolls, and it's almost like there's an art to it.
What is happening in Europe, man?
Typically, you can tell if it's a troll if the song is either about partying, dancing, or having fun. Usually played to a very poppy techno EDM track, usually accompanied by over-the-top flashy costumes and props or bad dancing. From what I've seen, Latvia and Lithuania seem to be really good at this. Like Latvia once dressed up as pirates. Lithuania literally submitted this.
Oh man, they should have been disqualified.
They came in 6th place that year. You know, usually there's gonna be a bunch of slip-ups and mistakes.
Oh, the coat is stuck. Oh, she fell down.
Ireland once sent in a screaming puppet. The singing can get pretty intense.
What? She looks in pain, actual pain.
Oh, and the lyrics, sometimes they're just genius.
It's free. Oh. Alcohol is free.
One time Finland won with this group.
Huh? They are terrifying.
Oh, don't forget drag queens after winning drag queens. And there was that one time Russia was like, screw it. We're just gonna send in a bunch of grandmas baking bread on stage.
Russia doesn't give a fuck.
And they actually got 2nd place. In the end, the Eurovision Song Contest is like Europe's complete musical battle royale that brings in the entire continent, plus some other countries that are not part of their continent. Which begs the question, do I think the USA should take part in Eurovision? No, absolutely not.
No.
For one, we're not part of Europe. Second, we'd probably ruin it, like seriously. I'm very doubtful any Europeans would be ecstatic to see an American in a European competition.
Yeah.
We'd be like that really annoying cousin that your friend brought to your party that you kind of politely laugh at their horrible bad
Yes.
jokes just because you don't want to be confrontational. And when he starts talking to you, you're like, oh yeah, hey, I have to go to the bathroom, but hey, here's Estonia. Have you met Estonia? Yeah, Estonia, US, Estonia. Yeah, just say hi to each other, and yeah, you two get along. I gotta go to the bathroom. And third, we'd probably never win. I doubt we'd ever get many points, if any at all. I mean, maybe the UK and Ireland would throw us some pity points, but nobody would want an American to win Eurovision.
Yeah.
And if by some miracle we actually did win, it would probably start a bunch of protests and boycotts and inciting World War III, IV, and V all at once. So for the safety of the planet, I think it would be best if we sat this one out. So there you go, Eurovision
This is
Explained
so European.
by an American.
Wow, what a video. It was seriously, I thought that the Eurovision was some kind of form of dance, but it was not like that. It was basically a show where the contestant come and they show their talent, just like the America Got Talent or India Got Talent. But here the people when they were showing their hilarious talent, sometimes their costume are also very hilarious. That period costume was so hilarious. Literally, I have never seen such kind of costume before. And that group of women who wore a skirt and who had tied bandana on their head were literally resembling like their dresses were literally resembling like a Himachali dress only. So firstly, I thought that it is a Himachali dress only. Basically, Himachal is a state in India. And that alcohol song was also hilarious. Basically, there was no lyrics into it. It was just like alcohol is free. That thing was so hilarious. But here also come contestant who has literally some talent, and sometimes they literally, I also got so shocked to know when they said that sometimes they have to sing for like 4 hours continuously. So that was very shocking part for me. So yeah, I really like this one.
And actually, yeah, Eurovision is something, everybody in Europe get together and they just make these things. And now when we get involved in this competition, now you get to know, like, okay, like these people, like, some people do not try to win because of the amount you have to pay to like host the next competition. So they are like, okay, it's better to lose. So they send in trolls, they send in people who just do not like to win. But I think so the audience or the jury member are also trolls, because like when I hear the ranking, they like some of those teams, like those who like that bread team won, that Russian team that sent grandmas who were baking bread, they were third or I think so second. So how can they get a third or second ranking? That means either all the other guys were shit, or it means the judges were also trolling. They were like, okay, now you want to troll us, we'll show you, we'll make you win the competition and host the next Eurovision. So but that I came into this video by seeing the river dance video. That was such an awesome video to watch, because that was something I think so at that point of time in the 1990s, I feel like all the European countries might have given their best, but at this point of time it is all about the budgeting and politics. So now it might be a bit different. So what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. But this show happens in May, so I promise like I would surely like to watch it sometime when I go to any European country. So what do you think about it? Let us know, and do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.